And it seems everyone in the world knew Putin was just stringing President Trump along. Everyone, that is, of course, except President Trump. Now realizing Russia will not work towards peace with Ukraine, the United States has now imposed new, tremendous, they're being called, sanctions on Russia, directly targeting two of its biggest oil giants. President Donald Trump says months of talks with Vladimir Putin have not gone anywhere, and that's despite Putin's visit with Trump to Alaska. So, Washington is tightening the screws. It means American companies will not be able to do business with these Russian outlets. Officials say the goal is to cut off key revenue stream funding Russia's war in Ukraine. The timing follows Russia's latest overnight barrage in Ukraine that killed 7 people, including 2 children, and hit a kindergarten. Kiev's ambassador in Washington welcomed the US move, saying maximum pressure is essential to achieve peace. I mean, the whole world called it out when Vladimir Putin went to Alaska. Everyone was going, why is Trump falling for this? And I think it's because Trump really thought he could do a deal. But what he doesn't realize is Putin will give all the signs of a deal. But the problem with Putin is he has no intention of following through. So I do think Trump can do a deal. I genuinely believe that. But he doesn't know how to deal with someone who is just completely lying. Even though Trump lies all the time. But I think at the core, he'll lie about things, but a deal to him is a deal. We saw that when Malcolm Turnbull called him out. Remember when Malcolm Turnbull, we were sending asylum seekers to the US, and Trump called Turnbull and said, we're not taking them, taking them. And Turnbull, probably one of the only good things he did as Prime Minister of this country, he said, Donald, we had a deal. And Trump respected the deal and he followed through with it and he allowed that to happen. So I think a deal is sacrosanct to Donald Trump. You handshake on a deal, it's a deal. You lie about everything else, but the deal is the deal. But Putin doesn't do that. So how do you deal with someone that isn't going to do that? And now Trump is finally, at this point, seeing the line. It could change tomorrow, of course, and he's imposing these sanctions. But sanctions alone won't end the war. But hitting Russia's biggest cash cows, this is a serious escalation. Because if the oil money dries up, the Kremlin's options narrow. The question is now, does Moscow blink? Or does this push the conflict into a new phase? We have gotten mixed reports about Trump saying Tomahawk missiles could be used, long-range missiles could be used by Ukraine. Trump has now denied that that is an option on the table, but it's obviously something Ukraine's asking for, because the fact is Ukraine aren't going to go down with a fight. No matter how many times you yell at Zelensky that he needs to give up land, Ukraine's not going to do that. And you can't blame them. Would America give up land? No. They're fighting for their sovereignty. Never underestimate the person being bullied, because sometimes when they stand up to a bully, it's unexpected, but it unites a nation. Ukraine is united, and they will keep fighting until the bitter end. Putin will promise deals, never fulfill. Zelensky said that. He warned Donald Trump. But Donald Trump finally seems to be listening.
Fun, insightful interviews from a washed-up producer with nothing to lose. McKnight Tonight. McKnight Tonight. It's good night from McKnight Tonight.